The Doug Wright Show.
It's just craziness on top of craziness.
On KSL News Radio 102.7 FM and 1160 AM.
Great to have you along today's Doug Wright Show at KSL News Radio. You remember we had the chance to talk with the dear old dad who every day would kind of wave his son off to school by dressing up in costume. Remember that? Pirate costume. One time he was out there sitting on the toilet and, Well, we got thinking this morning, I wonder what the skinny is with that dad. I wonder if he's doing it again. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to get into the high temperatures in our Utah schools, that and more. It's all in the mix on today's Doug Wright Show. Yeah, the dear old dad's name was Dale Price. And this made local news. It made national news. And we've had the opportunity to talk with Dale several times. And it was interesting, just in the course of the show today, I was talking to Lee, and I said, do you remember the guy that dressed up? He goes, yeah, Dale Price. I said, yeah. I said, school's getting going. I wonder if he's doing it again. Well, we have Dale on the line. Dale, how are you?
Good. How are you, Doug? You sound good.
Well, thank you. Well, I'm doing fine. Now, is school underway down in your neck of the woods there in American Fork?
School is running. I was out there this morning waving.
Ooh, was this the first day?
Today was the first day I started waving again. Yes.
First day you started waving. Now, which kid is on the bus this year?
Same son, Rain. He actually he didn't plan on riding the bus. I didn't even realize I was going to wave. The plan was not to do it. And then at the last minute, as it goes with the teenagers, everything changed. He wasn't riding with his friends. He was going to ride the bus again. And so I've been scrambling, trying to get ready. And so today we got it going again.
This was it. All right. Now, what was the costume today?
I was a big frog in a full frog suit.
Now, where does one conjure up a frog suit on relatively short notice like that?
I actually had this sitting around from that was given to me from a German TV station that did a big story, and they gave it to me, and I've never used it for the wave, so I decided to use it today.
The frog suit, well, this is good. Came from a German station. Well, very cool. How did the frog go over today?
Very well. They have a new driver, and she was very excited. She was waving with both hands, and so she didn't know it was coming, I think. And then they actually changed the bus route, so it's a little bit different this year, and he won't be being picked up at the same spot. So I'm having to convince him to walk to a farther spot to get picked up before, so that I can wave at him. But he'll only do it one day a week, so I'm only going to be waving on Mondays, it looks like.
On Mondays. Well, that takes a little pressure off the costumes.
A little bit, but still, I added it up, and it's something like 41 days I still have to dress up. So.
Oh, man. I was thinking the other day, when you and I chatted last time, all of the different costumes you've come up with, some of them are just amazingly creative. But here's the question, Dale. I have my ties to Eureka, Utah. Have you ever dressed up like a miner?
No, I have not.
Hey! Huh?
That is a good one. That's going on the list.
Well, if you need to borrow a carbide lamp or whatever, you let me know.
I will do that. That is a good one.
Yeah, pick, shovel, carbide lamp, everything else. We can take care of you. We'll set you up.
Oh, that sounds good.
Can't let those Germans have all the glory.
Of course. We got to have some Utah things. I already used the pioneer dress, so
Yeah, see, miner, that works. A lot of the Tinnick Mining District is in Utah County anyway, so it's just a natural tie-in. Now, let's talk about next Monday. Have you worked out your costume for next Monday yet?
I have an idea what I'm going to be doing.
Yeah, you got to keep it a secret.
Right? No, I believe I'm going to be a mobster.
Ooh,
the old mobster style with the Bugsy, with the fedora hat and the carnation and the lapel and all that.
You got to have a violin case, right?
Yep, I'm looking to borrow one right now. I have a neighbor, and I've got to contact him.
Sounds good. What is the reaction of the kids, on the bus? Not only your son, but the rest.
Well, today it was a surprise since it was the first day, and he didn't tell anybody. And I actually saw about 5 hands waving in addition to the bus driver, which surprised me because normally that first day they have that look of shock. But they were all waving, so I guess they maybe thought something was up when my son showed up at the wrong bus stop.
Yeah.
And so they were looking for that, and they were all smiling. All the faces were pressed up against the window again, so here we go.
You know, I was so glad when Lee gave you a call this morning after we'd kicked this around. I mean, this just totally came out of the blue. I thought, well, I wonder if he's doing it again this year. And I was so glad to hear that you are. Now, if I recall, don't you have a younger child kind of in the pipeline down the way a little bit?
Yeah, but he's only 7, so it's going to be a while before he rides a bus. Right now, his bus is the minivan with Dad driving, so there's no waving right then.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm so glad this is going on. I think this has been so much fun for you personally. What has been the highlight for you?
The highlight by far was being flown to New York with my son.
Yeah,
and not even being on the Good Morning America, but that was the vehicle with which we were able to do this. But it was just being able to take that trip with my son. That by far was the most memorable thing. It was something that we'd probably never be able to do, and it was just an incredible experience and a memory that both of us will cherish.
Yeah, absolutely. What time does the bus go by, approximately?
Around 7:15.
7:15. So later in the year, it's kind of dark when it goes by?
It is completely dark.
Yeah, well, that's when we're going to have to use the carbide lamp. That way you can fire that puppy up and...
No, that's exactly right. That's the right time, and I can dress up in thick clothes. That'd be good.
Sounds good. Hey, Dale, I so appreciate you joining us. I have to tell you made my day by knowing that this is going on again. I will look forward to various reports. If you don't mind, we might bug you every now and then and see how this is going on.
Please do. That would be great.
And give my best to Rain and the rest of your family, okay?
Thank you. I will.
Dale Price with us, and he is the American Fork dad who last year dressed up in the costumes, and today was the first day, at least of this season, that he was underway dressed as a big bullfrog. All right, let's take a break. We'll come right back with more of today's Doug Wright Show. Okay, we're